Righto, morning everybody. I'm here with Adrian, and great story, mate. Great story. I think we won't concentrate on the business, but more on the process that you went through to come to Vietnam to set up a business, because people are going to come here and keep going with what they want to do, or they're going to come here and retire and find something else to do, and I'm going to cover that and other things, but I think your story is pretty amazing in how you've gone about it.
All right.
And time, process, systems, contacts, who's helped, who hasn't.
Yep. All right.
And we'll be honest.
Okay.
I like honest.
Let's hook in. So my journey is a little bit probably different to other people who've set up businesses in Vietnam. I'd been coming to Vietnam since about 2008 with another hat.
Yep.
And I've sort of been dealing with the Australian construction industry sort of as a side note, and I've had staff here on a contract arrangement.
Okay.
And then through COVID, when I was a CEO for Tilling Timber, we set up a back-end business here. Just the two things to support our accounting and finance and imports team, but also to help us find other products and materials and suppliers through that COVID period. Through that, our network sort of wondered if we could get them staff, and it was like, okay, well, I think there's quite a good little business opportunity here. Me and my business partner, Glenn, we sort of talked it through and said, what would it look like to grow a business in Vietnam? And it came from a conversation through that. So I worked with, really fortunate that being here for a while, trust is a big thing when you want to set up a business in a foreign country.
Absolutely.
And understanding trust and understanding that you've really got to do your research and you have to do it right. You have to follow, there's rules and there's structure that you have to follow. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of paperwork.
Is it different to Australia?
Oh, so much different. Like you can go and get a business license pretty much, pay your money and you've got a license and away you go, right? But here, you've pretty much got to find out what type of business you want to open up. So we went with a foreign investment, It's an FDI company. So we had to basically set up two business licenses. One was an investment license and then one was the license to actually operate the business. And we actually had to be really specific in the business that we were offering, and that had to be approved by the government before we could go any further. So we sit in a certain business number, and we've got about 5 different business number ranges that we play in. Now I didn't understand any of that. I got pushed through an acquaintance to an advisor, and I was really fortunate that the advisor I come across is somebody who is in their 50s, went to university in Ho Chi Minh, and was really well connected. So she's got a lot of connections through government and personal connections, which makes, for me, if I really want to understand what rule I have to follow, I have to go about something, she can go and get the answer. Then we can get it structured. So we've got to do process 1, process 2, process 3.
I love that word, fortunate. It's not about fortune, it's about, was it a whole lot of hoops you went through to find that person, to get that trust and that understanding that would help you?
No, for me, that person came through somebody who already had a really strong trust connection, because I'd worked with that person for a long period of time and we built that trust. So therefore, that person understood me quite well from a business sense. So therefore, the person that they put forward to me already, I had some confidence knowing that person was hopefully going to do the right thing. And there's lots of, you can sort of see, and there's lots of businesses through social media that will help you set up and structure a business. And they'll do all these things, and then you hear a lot of horror stories. So the research you really should do, and what I did is, as well, is if they're telling you about something, you really need to search that and see, is that real? You know, your search engines and ChatGPT and Claude and all that, they help. But you should really be cross-checking early on any advice that you get. I'd give that as a strong recommendation. Just don't take it off social media.
No.
Do the work, do the research. And we were talking earlier, 100% slow it down. You cannot rush setting up a business here.
No.
First of all, you can't change the time it's going to take, and you're going to apply and you're going to go in a queue, and you have to be very patient. There is a lot of documentation to set up a business that you have to have original copies, and it has to be notarized in Australia.
Yeah.
It's then got to go to DFAT in Australia and then get authenticated. And from there, the document has to then go to the embassy in Sydney for Vietnam and then get authenticated as well. And then it comes back. So you've got basically 3 areas that you're waiting in a queue for. When we started, it was just on COVID, and when COVID finished and everyone was wanting to travel again, so the delay was with the Australian government in passport processing.
Right.
So you have to go through every single documentation. There's probably 7 or 8 bits of document that you have to do that process for. So you have to understand there's a cost involved in that. There's a cost involved to get it notarized. There's a cost to get that document done. And a lot of those you could try and get grouped together, but you're paying per page.
And what I find here, though, is the documentation side is just so much greater than Australia ever was.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable amount of paper you've got to sign and get ready.
Yeah. I have, just inside the business for every normal transaction, I have to, the paperwork that you have to do it's incredible. Like I am signing reams of paper every week like this, every single transaction. If I get a supplier and I want to put a sticker, a sign on the window, there's a contract that gets written for that. Okay.
I know.
There's a part payment, a full payment. Each one of those, I then have to sign and approve that process and say that it's been completed as well. So. First of all, there is red tape that you have to go through, and it's quite a big process. It's making sure that you understand the business that you want to set up, understand that you can open that type of business here. First and foremost, before you part with any money, and then once you're at that point, it's really, really important that you get a really good accountant / HR person in your business. First and foremost, one that understands you cannot operate a business in Vietnam like you would operate a business in Australia. The labour laws are totally different. The way the team respond to what you're trying to achieve, it's challenging. You have to communicate really clearly. You can't just, in Australia at a high level business, you can grab a manager and you could sit and have a chat and say, I want done, right? A, B, C. And off you go, please make that happen. You can't do that here.
No.
You actually have to outline it. You have to write it down. You have to give them action items for them to go on and work through. Very black and white. And the grey, you have to try and work out how to get that grey to black and white. And you can't move as fast. From business, I like to move really fast. One thing I found out in Vietnam is you really have to slow it down. You have to think strategically about the move that you make, the flow and effect that it will have with your personnel here, which is quite challenging in a sense.
My biggest mistake was paperwork. That's never been something that I've been particularly strong with. And I made that mistake all the way through, and it bit me on the arse. It bit me bad. So
I actually had my first. I had my first audit last week, and I asked for the audit because I went through the process of claiming VAT.
Oh right, okay.
So I had to open up and have that audit. So the VAT amount, rough and dirty, was about 500 mil, and I got a $40 million fine as part of the audit. And it's as simple as not having a signature in the right spot, not having something that matches a receipt that matches a sign-off. And I welcome the process because I wanted to make sure, I've heard a lot of stories about paperwork, that it was really, for me, it was a $40 million investment in understanding.
40 million
dong, sorry. Yeah, dong.
Let's not say
dong. 40 million.
He's got a good business, but it's not there yet.
40 million dong investment in making sure that I've got all my structure right, my paperwork's in the right. But I've got 2 very, very good people on accounts, a good chief accountant, someone who I've grown through the business to be a chief accountant, and then a lady who's an experienced chief accountant. So lots of paperwork, that was a sanity check by the government through that process, and we'll be much better as a business next time around as well.
So come back and I'll flick one at you now.
Yeah.
What's been your personal learning journey, and what have you learnt about yourself in coming here and doing what you're doing?
For me, it's about slowing down, being patient, and finding a way to make sure that you can clearly articulate and communicate what you want, what you need from your team. And you've got to try and find a way to push emotions to the side, because you will be challenged emotionally having a business here, and you need to be able to really deal with facts and data in Vietnam.
How have you found Da Nang as a place to live?
I love Da Nang. When I first set the business up, as I said earlier, I started in Ho Chi Minh. I wanted Da Nang originally, but I didn't have a connection in Da Nang. Just happened that the lady that I got put onto, who's set everything up for us, who's protected myself and my business partner in all that we do. So she not only does she look after the business side of things, she actually looks after all of my TRCs, anything to do with me being here. She's all over. She also looks after any visa requirements now for customers coming across to see their team, but also I do send team members into Australia for training and ongoing development, so she helps facilitate that. So I just think it's really important to slow things down, find where you want to be. As far as the question around Da Nang, I see it as it's a big country town, and I like that. I like that feel. One other thing that I really attracted me to Da Nang, especially for what I do, is there's a huge university here, and there's 60-something thousand students, and there's some really smart, bright young people, hardworking. A lot of them come really regional, so they're coming off farms, so they're really respectful. They're really grateful when they get an opportunity, and they work really, really hard.
Found the same thing, and just diligent people.
And self-learning. Like I've got one guy that works for me, a young guy. He's fluent in English, German. Now he's learning French because he just loves languages. But they will work, and then they will also continue to improve themselves on their own, outside of work. They're just learning, love learning.
And Saturdays and Sundays, that's what they go off and do. A lot of my staff did that as well. Mate, well, thanks very much for coming in. It's been a wonderful thing for you to share with everybody, and hit subscribe, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Rod, and also thank you too for what you're bringing and the support. You know, I met you through OzCham, but it's really nice to be able to have somebody that you can always confide in and talk to about process. So do yourself a favour too, reach out to Rob. Rod, come and visit him in the bar here. I love coming for a Sunday roast. It's great, reminds me a bit of home, and I love watching the cricket here. So thank you.
Thanks, mate.